Hello and welcome. My name is Meepolis, and this is Literally Graphic. And today I finally got my hands on a complete new to me Taiyo Matsumoto title, Cats of the Louvre, translated by Michael Arias. And at this year's Eisner Award, this title tied with Witch Hat Atelier for Best U.S. Edition of International Material Asia, published by Viz Media in September of 2019. While the style of storytelling also doesn't really lend itself to an all-ages audience, there is some cat endangerment and classic painting nudity. If you weren't already aware, Taiyo Matsumoto is one of my favorite mangaka for a number of years now. According to his Goodreads profile, he apparently wanted to be a professional soccer player first, and sports has been an influence on his work throughout. His most notorious work, Tekkonkinkreet, has a similar magical realism feel centered around young men. Class awareness being the biggest difference between this and that, and of course the setting. To summarize the book, this is another Louvre tie-in comic and a melancholic and surreal tale of the secret world of cats. Some Cats the musical vibes, maybe? We follow a tour guide and night watchman as they slowly discover the unseen mysteries of the museum. Like a couple of his other titles, Cats of the Louvre is broken down into seasons of the year. The art of this standalone volume is very much what I've come to expect from Matsumoto, albeit with less nose-picking. Not a typical manga style, Matsumoto's work has a beautiful texture to it. While I never get the impression that Matsumoto dislikes non-men, this book did include an apparently woman character, which is somewhat different for him. See my other reviews to find out more about these male-centered stories that I still manage to enjoy so much. While we are most focused on the cats and the Louvre, the character development we get for Cecile is very nice. Although as a fellow introvert, I might be biased. And the growth we get to see her go through is also edifying. The closest we get to sexuality in this book is that some new kittens appear at the end. Race, while not really discussed, was still a pretty high point of the manga for me, namely because one of the main characters is a black man who is rendered very beautifully. Neither manga nor French comics, to my understanding, is really great about including black characters in ways that are respectful, so this felt like a refreshing inclusion. That said, I feel like some of the cats might be representing caricatures that I'm not aware of, so that's worth keeping in mind. I do wonder what a French-Japanese accent sounds like, but that's not that important. Class was interesting to keep in mind because Matsumoto does generally center poorer, more working-class characters. Initially, this volume felt like a deviation from that, but ultimately, I don't think so, because the book is about cats, night watchmen, and a tour guide. That said, the setting of the Louvre does offer a rich backdrop to everything the characters do. Overall, I really enjoyed the book, but I guess I was left feeling a bit too nebulous about the plot itself to rate it 5 out of 5 stars, so I will be going with just 4. That said, this is a beautiful and magical book to just lose yourself inside of, and would highly recommend. Bye y'all, keep reading, and resist white supremacy. And as always, Literally Graphic is recorded on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation. I live here because of British colonization, Indigenous genocide, and more geographically specific, Treaty 13, also known as the Toronto Purchase, which was finalized in 1805 between representatives of the Crown and certain Mississauga peoples. This treaty was a lie and has since been broken many times over. Saying so reflects only my own small steps towards knowing the truth and does nothing for reconciliation.